Hi, and welcome to Traveling Inside Out. This is Alina, your host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Traveling Inside Out, the podcast that explores the world within and out. And thank you for anyone who's joining now or later on. And what a beautiful day is outside. However, it is cold, brick cold. How would the New Yorkers say? Let's get into trying the new tea. Today is the 14th. So let's see what number 14 has for us. Ooh, I think this is one of the two teas that are not black or green. So I am legit excited, like proper excited. And it's called Orange Cream Rooibos Herbal Tea. I am so excited to try it out. Oh, it smells nice. It for sure smells nice. And there we go. How is everybody? So, as I said yesterday, I don't think I'm gonna keep going. After Monday might be the last episode. I don't think I'm gonna continue this because it's too much hassle for logistics reasons. And so I will see if what I'm gonna do, should I open all of the other teas on Monday, or should I um write about them, or maybe make short videos about them. um I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I have some hairs on my eyes. The hair is not herring. Okay, let's check some. I think we're getting at the end of the tea facts on that Wikipedia page. Um and yes, last time we were reading about other countries. Yeah, that's kind of it, actually. That is kind of it. Let me see. Have I skipped anything at all? Yes, I mentioned. I'm not gonna do that. Um, oh, we can talk a little bit about the historical events which had tea involved in it, or tea, or whatever, something like that. Um, so the first this I did mention. I remember that it was the first record of tea in English came from a letter written by Richard Wickman, who ran an East India Company office in Japan, writing to a merchant in Macao requesting the best sort of chow in 1615. Peter Mundy, a traveler and merchant who came across tea in Fujian in 1637, wrote cha, only water with a kind of herb boiled in it. Tea was sold in a coffee house in London in 1657. Samuel Pepys tasted tea in 1616, and Catherine of Braganza took the tea drink habit to the English court when she married Charles II in 1662. Tea, however, was not widely consumed in the British Isles until the 18th century, and remained expensive until the latter part of the period. Tea smuggling during the 18th century led to the general public being able to afford and consume tea. The British government removed the tax on tea, thereby eliminating the smuggling trade by 1785. Um, the price of tea in Europe fell steadily during the 19th century, especially after Indian tea began to arrive in large quantities. By the late 19th century, tea had become an everyday beverage for all levels of society, since in the beginning it was consumed as a luxury item. The popularity of tea played a role in historical events. The Tea Act of 1773 provoked the Boston Tea Party that escalated into American Revolution. I'm gonna put a pin in this because I'm gonna come back to look at you and I want to tell you the story of how upset I am. So I'm gonna say it again at the year. Boston Tea Party happened in um, it's when they spilled all of the tea. Um, right? Either way, the point is that we were planning to go last year in December for like over a weekend to go to Boston for a few days. And because I found cheap tickets on Amtrak, if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will have seen already some shorts that I made regarding traveling on Eastern Corridor with Amtrak. And we booked tickets, like train tickets to go. And we also booked a hotel where to stay, or we were about to book the hotel. I don't remember actually if we booked the hotel or not. I think we did. But then, as I mentioned, my green card got denied, and we decided to sue USCIS because they were in the wrong and we were in the right. And that cost us $5,500 for the lawyer, and that was a lot of money. And the trip would have cost us like at least $1,000. And so we regret. I said, okay, we can't afford going to Boston right now. And so we decided not to go, and I'm still upset at it because I didn't realize that they had the celebration of, I don't know, there was a number of years since the tea throwing in the thing, and we would have been there that day and I didn't even realize. So we would have been able to see, apparently they have extra um events happening in the harbor and all that, and we missed it. And so I'm curious for whoever is watching, and if you want to comment, once again, you can comment on the video. You can comment if you're watching this on Spotify, you can comment to Spotify, or if I'm posting this on Facebook, you can also comment on Facebook. So wherever you want, you can comment. I'm curious if um, you ever had some traveling plans that you have to cancel for one reason and another, and you're still upset about it years later. Like it's been a year later, and I'm still upset about it. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share that sweet little story. Okay. Um, so the Tea Act of 1773 provoked the Boston Tea Party that escalated into American Revolution. The need to address the issue of British trade deficit because of the trade in tea resulted in the Opium Wars. The uh, King Kanchi Emperor, again, I don't know how to pronounce, had banned foreign products from being sold in China, decreeing in 1685 that all goods bought from China must be paid for in silver coin or bullion. Traders from other nations then sought to find another product, in this case opium, to sell to China to earn back the silver they were required to pay for tea and other commodities. The subsequent attempts by the Chinese government to curtail the trade in opium led to war, and I know there was like a whole thing. What happened there? Chinese. Oh, let's try the tea. It says caffeine free. Now, you see, this is what I disagree because it says that it needs to be infused for 3 to 5 minutes. And I know that usually these herbal teas, especially rooibos, they can go, I think, even 10 minutes or something like that. So it's written on all envelopes 3 to 5 minutes, and I don't fully agree. I talked about this in one of the first episodes of these live bonus episodes. That tea, depending on what kind of teas, it would need to be infused for shorter or longer period of time. Hmm. Okay, this is a nice herbal tea. Like honestly, I don't know what is orange cream. To be honest with you, but I taste a bit of orange. I taste herbal, the rooibos. Like I taste red tea, as some people would call it. Okay. Chinese small leaf type tea was introduced into India in 1836 by the British in an attempt to break the Chinese monopoly on tea. I already said this. But in 1841, Archibald Campbell bought seeds of Chinese tea from the Common region and experimented with planting tea in Darjeeling. The Alubari Tea Garden was opened in 1856 and Darjeeling tea began to be produced. So that's the thing. So this dude, Archibald Campbell, of the Bengal Medical Service, was the first superintendent of the sanitarium town of Darjeeling in northeast India. Yeah. So the Alubari Tea Garden was opened in 1856 and Darjeeling tea began to be produced. In 1848, Robert Fortune was sent by the East India Company on a mission to China to bring the tea plant back to Great Britain. He began his journey in high secrecy as his mission occurred in the lull between the First Opium War and the Second Opium War. I also mentioned this before. The Chinese tea plants he brought back were introduced to the Himalayas, though most did not survive. I'm not surprised by that. The British had discovered that a different variety of tea was endemic to Assam and the northeast region of India, which was then hybridized with Chinese small leaf type tea. Using Chinese planting and cultivation techniques, the British colonial government established a tea industry by offering land in Assam to any European who agreed to cultivate it for export. And I mentioned this as well. Tea was originally consumed only by Anglo Indians. However, it became widely popular in India in the 1950s because of a successful advertising campaign by the India Tea Brand Board. The British introduced the industry to Sri Lanka, then Ceylon in 1867. I mentioned this as well because I didn't know that Sri Lanka was mentioned Ceylon, and I know that Ceylon is a tea brand company. So anyway, it's so interesting to see how much entanglement and how much tea was initially seen as a luxury item and then little by little was introduced more to the masses, to the point that it kind of, did you know that it was kind of entangled in the opium war? I did not know that. I can promise you that much. um I'm going to dye my hair today. Okay, so that's period. I'm just looking at my hair. I'm gonna dye my hair today, so I'm curious is gonna if there's gonna be a difference tomorrow, because the holidays are coming. As I was saying, we're leaving on Tuesday very early morning to go to Florida, and we're going to be in two places, somewhere in Tampa and then close to Orlando. I'm going to probably try to make some videos because we've never been to Tampa before, or I have never been to Tampa before. So maybe we're going to do some exploration in Tampa. We'll see. And yeah, we were planning to go and see Diker Heights, but I can't. Like, we were literally getting ready, like we were getting dressed to go out, and then I was like, I don't feel like I want to do it anymore. So I think this year I'm not gonna see any Christmas lights, like proper Christmas lights in New York at all, because we're also leaving so early. Like, we're leaving on the 17th. That is very early. But then at the same time I was like, but don't I have lifetime to see Christmas lights in New York? But I kind of do. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm gonna give this a 4.5 because it is flavorful quite a bit. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5. But all in all, this kind of, I mean, it was really cheap. Probably if I would have gotten some tea advent calendar that was more expensive, probably I would have indeed liked it more. I think the tea, no offense to this company, but I think this tea was kind of, mm, I don't know how much you actually pay for this kind of tea in a regular package. If it's like fairly priced in general, and that's just how it is, or whatever. I didn't make any of, I don't truly 100% pay attention to the tea brand when I buy the tea. Um, and as I mentioned before, I'm getting my tea from a good store because they are amazing and they're helping people. And my tea helps fight tuberculosis, which is that an amazing thing to think? I'm drinking tea and at the same time I'm fighting tuberculosis, or I'm wearing my socks and at the same time I'm helping um, to build a maternity clinic in Sierra Leone, or they had cancer socks. That's how they were calling. So buying those socks, the profits was going to um, I don't remember exactly, but something that would help cancer research. So I still do love that tea very much. And I about it in a previous bonus episode. That being said, I think that's it for the day. Again, I'm doing 2 more days of these lives and then I will see what I'm going to do. So if you want to join me live, now is the time. If not, you can always watch the other videos that I posted. I am still, as I said, going to make an episode with Andra in which we're going to probably talk about what we wish for ourselves, or we will see. So, yeah. Thank you again for, especially for those who have joined, who are joining or watching this later. And see you again tomorrow. This concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening and for reviewing Traveling Inside Out. If you want to get in touch with me, send an email to podcast@alinaigrad.com. And remember, your outer journey begins with inner work. Until next time, bye.